I'd like to start the city council meeting. Call this meeting to order. Will you please note the attendance here? We do have one person for the open forum. Susie, are you here, and would you like to come up to the podium and state your name, your address, and make sure you sign in as well? Excuse me, we got someone come in here.
Taking care of business here.
I hear you.
All right, as you said, my name is Susie, and I understand skipping the last name, it's Shella. I live at 6301 DuPont Avenue in Richfield, very close to here. And my concern, is that the details you needed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the concern is about pet ownership, because, sorry. I read the city code, and I see that it's for 3 dogs, you have to apply for a multi-pet residence. And so I tried to do that, and they said that in order for my situation to work, I got a voicemail saying that one of us had to own the home. And then I inquired further, and I was told that you can be a renter and apply for it. But because there was 3 of us adult individual renters at one home, it's a 4-bedroom house, we couldn't each have a dog. So I'm curious as to why, I guess.
And you know, at this time, this is an open forum. We'll probably defer to acting city manager
Okay.
and our Mary Tejan. And we're going to make sure that somebody gets back to you and you have a more thorough conversation. And that's probably some very old policy, so I don't have that history, but thank you for coming and bringing that up. I'm sure there's a lot of questions. Excuse me, city attorney.
Madam Mayor and Council, I would just like you to know that I have talked with the staff about this issue.
Okay.
And I would be happy to follow up with
Oh, thank you.
Susie and the
please?
staff as to the interpretation of the code provision.
Okay.
And if we can provide any clarification on it,
To
I'd be
help
happy to do that.
All right, all right. Thank you for coming and bringing that to us tonight.
Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to ask everybody to please stand and join us here with the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. At this time, I'd ask the approval of the minutes of the Special City Council meeting of April 8th, 2014, the Special Concurrent City Council and Planning Commission work session of April 8th, 2014, and the regular City Council meeting of April 8th, 2014.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Opposed? The motion carries. Tonight we have some presentations, and these are presentations of the various nonprofit organizations that provide social services to the city of Richfield, and they receive grant dollars from CDBG monies from us. And so tonight we will have 3 of them. I understand Cornerstone is on the agenda, but they will not be able to make it tonight, so I'm sure there'll come another. And first up will be Mira. Will you come to the podium and talk to us about your great organization?
Rosa, excuse me, do you have a slide
Yes.
presentation? Is someone here that can
Help.
assist her?
Thank you.
Yes,
It's always helpful to have a visual.
yes, absolutely.
All right, and we can see it. Great.
Okay, good evening. Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
Thank you so much for inviting us to this report to the community and to report how Mira is doing. I would like to thank you, to thank the city of Richfield for the great support that so far we've been getting from you all these years. Without your support, Mira wouldn't be able to open doors, and it wouldn't be able to serve the community that we serve. Thank you so much for all your support. And now we're going to start with the slideshow, and we'll explain a little bit what we've been doing and what are we up to. So,
Jackie, could you introduce everyone up there too?
and
at the
I
dais?
will.
Okay.
So my name is Jackie Farrell, and I'm the chair of the Mira Boards of Directors. And
Hi, I'm Rosa Rubio, and I'm the treasurer of the Mira Board.
I'm Kathy Luby, and I work with Jackie as co-chair.
And I'm Kim Hooley, and I'm the secretary.
okay, so we're going to start with the mission that Mira has. The mission of Mira is to empower Latino families, children, and individuals in South Hennepin County by promoting their educational, economic, and social development. Serving the community. Since our inception, Mira has served nearly 12,000 people, 90% of which are low-income Latino families with an increasing number of people from other ethnic backgrounds. We want to continue to build the integration of all cultures in our community. And those are the names of the Mira's Board of Directors and our current primary activities, which Rosa will explain that, and we'll take turns.
So Mira's primary activities are to provide information and referrals about resources that are here in the community, not just Richfield, but what's available for our residents. We have a health and nutrition program. We provide many programs for adult education. There's English as a second language, computer skills, internet safety, and to provide these classes, we either work with volunteers or we partner with other agencies. We also provide financial literacy, and we had our first tax preparation session. This year, we actually just finished that with over 65 returns. So that has been a very successful program for us, and we're very proud to share that. We also had a job skills program. Sorry. There's sewing classes, and there's job search skills. We help people prepare their resumes and help to find jobs and apply for them. And also we starting a community involvement program. We've done like little sessions around cooking together with residents, as bringing people together in a kitchen. And we started officially our Kitchen Connection program. We have one session already planned that we're going to have community Latino members, and we're going to have the new superintendent for the Richfield Public Schools, and also the school board. And actually, we'd like to send an invitation to all of you for our second session of this Kitchen Connection. We would like to have representatives from the city council, mayor, and people that are, invested in the city. And the idea of this Kitchen Connection program is to provide a space that people can communicate in a relaxed setting, as it can be around, in the kitchen and with food. So that's the idea of that program. Here, we are not going to go over all of them. We just wanted to list, kind of for your information and for all the residents, what Mira has been providing in this past year. We received, we signed a service agreement with the city for which we received $8,000. And that money helped us open doors, as Jackie said, to provide our basic services. And these are some of our numbers. Besides the City of Richfield money, we supplement our programs with other grants that we've been getting through Richfield Public Schools. Richfield Rotary Club, we started a very important partnership that we'll look more in a little bit. And we started a partnership with the Rotary that we have renewed our computer lab. And we're gonna start a new computer program, so you are free, welcome to come and visit anytime. And also House of Prayer is a big partner for Mira. They've been supporting not just space-wise, but also with contributions for our sewing program. And also it's going to be our big partner for the kitchen connection. And besides that, we have collaboration with many agencies as Volunteer Connection of Metro South, Bloomington Public Health, Hennepin County Library, Hennepin County Police Liaison, Volunteer Lawyer Networks, and the Family Partnership, among many others. I don't know.
So, as Rosa says, we are gonna get, we already got our new computer lab through the partnership of the Rotary Club. And they've been very generous with us, and they've been helping, putting tons of hours and tons of time to help to get this new refurbished computer lab that it's helping the community and helping the parents or the families that are in need of learning a new computer technology, or they are in need for computers too. So, the one. These are all the participants that they got the computer. The news for 2014 and 2015, the news is like Rosa says, that we got into a partnership with the House of Prayer, and we have, for the Kitchen Connection, we have the sewing program, and also we just, like she says, we just finished the tax season thanks to the Minnesota Revenue Grant. Well, and like those faces and those families, it says together we're making a difference. Thank you very much to all of you, and thank you very much for supporting Mira.
Thanks.
What, excuse me, Jackie, when are you going to have the next kitchen connection?
Our first session is gonna be May 17th.
Okay.
That's when the new superintendent and the school board is invited. And our second session we'll have to determine in the future when we're gonna
So you'll
do
send
it.
us an invite?
Yes.
Send it
Sure,
here to the city hall?
totally.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would be
What time is
wonderful.
that going to be? It's on the 17th.
It's a Saturday, about, I think about 10 in the morning until probably about 1 o'clock. I don't
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right.
Les iba a preguntar también que tienen esta información, ¿tienen un website?
Sí. And it's actually on this one. Everybody
Ah,
can
The
see it.
slide, it was on the
Bueno.
slides.
It's in
Y,
one
y también su número de teléfono,
Yeah,
¿verdad? Ahí está.
everything is there.
Yes,
It's
Ah,
the
bueno.
current schedule, the new phone number. Oh, yep.
Les
So-
iba también a decir que vi de ahora que pusieron la lista de las cosas que le han ayudado a la comunidad, que pusieron la gente que ha hablado, que han visitado la oficina. Es algo muy importante cuando levanta uno fondos. Entonces les felicito que están haciendo eso. Muy bien.
Getting
That's
better.
it.
Thank you very
The-
much. Thank you for what you do for your community.
I mean, you can see the number. I don't know if you want us to
Yes,
say
we got it,
but-
and we've got the handout too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor, Madam Mayor, I just told them that I was very impressed that they were keeping, good records, and that those records really made a difference when you're soliciting funding.
Sure it does, and especially just the specific types of things that they provide that we don't
Right.
necessarily provide other places for this
Exactly.
community. So thank you. We have the next presentation, which is the family partnership. Maria? Hi. It's good to see you, Maria.
Thank you. Good to see you too. Hi, Edwina.
Hi.
Hi.
My name is Maria Zavala, and I am a community organizer with the Family Partnership. I have been working in the city of Richfield and with the residents in the city of Richfield for the past 10 or 12 years. I'm here tonight to say thank you. Thank you for the funding for our programs. Some of the activities that you are going to hear from me are very similar to what Mira is doing. And I just want to clarify that it's not that we are repeating services, it's that we are extending services. Because, for example, for the tax preparation, I cannot prepare the same taxes for the 65 people they serve already. So we are trying to extend the services to the low-income families. This year, in the sites in Richfield, the family partnership prepares 85 returns. And we see, from those 85 returns, we see an increase of about half of them being people who last year, they went to a tax preparer that they have to pay. And this year, they decide to go with a free tax preparation. So somehow it's a saving in the pocket of those families. And that is exactly what we are trying to do, bring the money back to the pockets of those immigrant families. Our main focus has been the Latino families, low-income families, but with the money that you provide, we not always provide services to Latinos. We try to provide the services to everybody who enter our doors. So we use the money to do tax preparation, but also we have been working in collaboration with MIRA and other organizations about housing issues. I am very sure you are all aware of the issues at Buena Vista Apartments. We have been in communication with the tenants there, trying to see what are the things that they need, and trying to meet the tenants and the community in the level that they are, because very often we find out that we, as agencies, we're really good on telling people what they need, but not so often we are good on asking them what they think they need, or what are the needs that they identify themselves. We want them to learn about credit, about this, about that, but we are not putting attention that maybe their priority is to have food on their tables. So I think that is something that we have been talking with other organizations such as MIRA, such as BIP, and other organizations, and see how we can collaborate instead of fight, or instead of duplicate services, how we can collaborate. How MIRA can do the cooking class when HCMC is doing a Zumba class, and when La Misión is doing something else. And everybody is just collaborating to do the same thing. So again, basically the money that you give us was to help those families to learn, but also to bring a little extra money back to their pockets. And I am very happy to report too that we do the tax preparation, but also we do individual classes about how to do a budget, how to start their own business, how to run their credit report. If you don't have a Social Security, what are the things, how you can build your credit? And we help those families to start building this credit, and then later on to move forward to start their own business. Some people who maybe are so happy about starting a business, and when they came to our class and they find out, okay, are those rules and regulations, are you ready to meet all of that? No. I thought it was only make tacos and salad. No. You have to do more than that. It's all this. And when they start learning about all the things that they have to do, it's not that we are just encouraging them to start a business, it's to think before they act. Make a decision that is an educated decision. So I don't know if you have any questions about the programs. We have lots of programs, and I have some handouts that I can give it to you. But I was thinking we only have 3 minutes, and I want to focus on the services that we cover with the funding that you give it to us. And I am open for questions.
Thank you, first of all, for serving the community, and we appreciate everything that you do here in the community of Richfield. So,
Madam Mayor.
Yes, please, go right ahead.
Family partnership is very much part of the community. I know they just opened a satellite office at where Adler Graduate School is.
Now, yeah, that's our South Hennepin office. Yeah, we moved from Bloomington to this side of the of the freeway because, again, if we are working so close with the community here, why we have to ask them to go to the other side? It's better to move ourselves closer to the community.
And not only that, the other thing is that John Till, who's vice president of the family partnership, is co-chair of the Richfield Community Council. Maria Zavala is part of the Family Stability Group,
Yes, ma'am.
and she's also heads the, ¿cómo se llama este programa? The championship, neighborhood championship.
Neighborhood champions, Richfield Neighborhood Champions.
So they are very, very much part of this community, and we appreciate all your work.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming tonight to talk about that.
Thank you.
Next, we have the organization Trail. Michelle.
I'm sure they're good, but I don't know anything about it.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity to thank the council in person for the support we've been receiving as part of your Richfield Social Service grants. After hearing the other organizations talk, I think I really can say we are small. We serve a small number, but we do have a huge impact on those people. TRAIL is an acronym for Transportation Resource to Aid Independent Living. We serve approximately 40 adults with developmental disabilities who live in Richfield, Eden Prairie, Edina, and Bloomington. Our mission is to provide transportation for these adults living in those 4 cities so they're able to attend customized classes offered by the Adaptive Recreation and Learning Exchange. That's also called ARLE. ARLE is made up of 2 parts, the Adaptive Recreation and Learning Exchange. Bloomington, Eden Prairie, Edina, and Richfield Park and Rec departments make up the Adaptive Recreation program. The Learning Exchange is part of the community education departments for those same 4 cities. And these organizations offer a variety of programming for all ages with developmental disabilities. TRAIL provides transportation to the majority of the adult programs. Our mission also is to provide this service with a low fee to the riders, with TRAIL subsidizing the balance of that cost. We contract services with the transportation provider. Our riders pay $3 round trip, and the remaining $10 TRAIL receives through donations and fundraising. We were created in '91 by parents who had adult children with disabilities who did not get picked up after programs, who wanted to have something for them to have a safe, affordable transportation. And the Richfield Park and Recreation Department was a big part of that initial startup. Our first year of transportation, we provided 18 buses. And now today, we average over 200 a year. Over 40% of the riders we provide transportation for live in Richfield. Our board has been made up of volunteers, and for over 20 years, everything that's done has been on a volunteer basis. And I've been the president for the last 13 years, and I can tell you it's not going to be sustainable if we aren't looking ahead to the future. And with that in mind, we are going to be hiring an administrative assistant this year. The page that you're looking at now, the slide, this shows you the programs that we provided transportation for last year. I believe the park and recreation programs are kind of self-explanatory, such as softball, water aerobics, cardio fitness. The learning exchange classes, that includes cooking classes, health and safety, independent living skills, crafts, and so forth. For a number of these programs, for all of ARLE, without TRAIL, they would not reach their class minimums and would therefore have to be canceled. So that not only would affect our TRAIL riders, but it would also affect other adults and people with disabilities if the programs had to be canceled. Our top rider last year, Andy, is a Richfield resident. These top 10 riders that we had represent over half of the rides we provided in 2013. We provided 1,386 rides, and these riders had almost 750 individual rides. Now, personally, I don't think I would want to go out 128 times in a year, but Andy does that. And here he is.
Oh, that's nice.
And I think it's a really good representation of how important our fundraising is. Andy's 128 rides cost him $384. Without the fundraising, the actual cost for that ride would have been, his rides would have been over $1,600. I think a way to look at it is last year, for every 3 days, Andy was out in the community. He participated in cardio fitness, softball, walking club, just to name a few. And because of a trail, he has that independence and he has safe and affordable transportation to do that. So I hope the brief presentation is going to capture for you what trail does, the impact that it has on the lives and the people we serve. We really appreciate the opportunity to thank you in person. The funds that we've received through the Richfield Social Services Grant has allowed us to double the buses we offer for cardio fitness. That program is held at the Richfield Community Center. And what better way for them to have the opportunity to be with their friends and to have the transportation to be able to get there. Thank you very much. Do you have any questions?
Thank you. This is really interesting. I'm really excited to hear because, you know, this is why I asked people in. I knew very little of trail. I just knew, oh, they provided some rides. But this is absolutely wonderful what you do, and really appreciate hearing more. I'm sure the community appreciates hearing more about what you do for our Richfield residents around
Thank
here.
you.
So thank you.
You're welcome. I've been a learning exchange instructor for over 15 years, so I see the riders coming into my classes and the excitement. Every face on this screen is dear to me, and I know, you know, the difference that getting to these activities make.
Yes, thank you.
So,
Thank you for coming
You're
tonight.
welcome. Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah, that's okay. They were all great organizations right here in Richfield, aren't they? They're all serving our community. Next, we have the presentation of the 2013 Food Safety Awards by the Richfield Advisory Board of Health, and some of the members are here. And I'm honored because I get to sit on this commission as the liaison, and this is one active, great commission. So kudos to you, and I'm always excited to see the food awards.
Thank you. Yeah, this is exciting for us. So my name's Kirsten Johnson. And I'm Erin Rickett. We are the co-chairs this year because they needed 2 people to fill Jennifer's shoes after she stepped down. So this is our first year doing that. But the annual food awards are an event where we get to recognize some organizations in Richfield for, you know, their excellent standards and safety in food preparation. This started back in 2006 after Bloomington got to do it a handful of times. And every year we're very appreciative to Jessica for all of her hard work in getting this done and doing inspections and really getting out there. So it's been pretty awesome. The process is that the health inspector nominates about 3 to 4 candidates in various risk categories. They do interviews, they do inspection results, so it's both objective with numbers and stats and subjective with the personality and the, you know, kind of pleasantness and the willingness to help provide safety in the food services. So both of those things kind of team up to create these really great organizations that end up winning. The categories that we always go by are, we have a full service restaurant, we do fast food, cafeteria, takeout restaurants, and then we have retail grocery, which there's plenty of in Richfield. So it's a lot of competition, and it's always really impressive when we can narrow it down to 3 and then when we get the winners. So, without further ado, our 2013 winners for full service restaurant, the nominees were Broadway Pizza, Red Pepper Chinese Restaurant, and Don Pablo's. But the winner this year was Devani's Pizza at 63rd and Penn. And here to accept is the manager, Melissa Morissette. Awesome. Yeah, Devani's has been a great staple. They do a lot of fundraisers and stuff for our schools and clubs too, which is so great, and it's been really helpful in the community. The next category for fast food, pizza carryout, and cafeteria. The other nominees were DQ Grill and Chill and the McDonald's on 66th and Lindale, but the winner this year is Arby's Restaurant on 77th and 5th Avenue with manager Sean Boyer here to accept. Thank you again, Sean. And Arby's has had a great reputation for years, so it's always exciting to hear that they did well again. And then for retail grocery this year, the runner-up was Lund's over on 62nd and Penn, but the winner was Target on 64th and Parkway. And here to accept is Ben Seidel. Thank you, Ben. So yeah, so we're really excited about it. Do you guys have any questions or anything from us, or?
No, I just want to, first of all, I want to thank those businesses for coming here tonight and also for accepting this, and this is televised. So you're getting some extra publicity for this. But we also post you up on the website as our winners too. And thank you again for doing great and being a Richfield business. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you very
Thanks.
much.
Thank you. Well, now after that, we have to have council discussion. Hats off to Hometown Hits. Councilmember Sandal, I see that you
Blessings, yeah.
have something.
Bye, Jennifer.
Okay, I just wanted to let people know that there is going to be an open house on Monday, April 28th, coming up. It's 4:30 to 6:30 p.m., and it's hard to see that particular poster, but what it's going to discuss is what are the proposals for the 35W and 494 interchange. And it will be held at St. Richard's Catholic Church in the community room, and St. Richard's is located at 76th and Penn. So they're going to be looking at a number of items, and let me just read it because it's tiny print. Primary goals is to study the safety and congestion of I-494 and I-35W and develop an interchange concept and let the public know what's being proposed. And they're also going to be looking at the effects that will have on the Metro Orange line, which is the BRT line that would run down 35W all the way south. So that's available, and if you want to have an interest in having input as a member of the public, you should attend. The other thing, just to bring it to everyone's attention, is called Unity in the Community, and this is going to be an event that will take place at Veterans Memorial Park. I'm not sure what number year this is, but it's not the first. They've been doing it for a number of years. And it will be Thursday, May 15th from 5 to 7:30 p.m., and it's to build trust among Richfield residents. It's intended to be an inclusive event. There will be cultural displays, crafts, snacks, entertainment, and the canine demonstration and also city vehicles will be on display. It's a really interesting event, and you may want to join them, and hopefully it'll be a nice sunny day because we know someday spring will come. So that's the end of my report.
Thank you. Councilmember Fitzhenry?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I had the opportunity with the Noise Oversight Committee to go look at what we call RMTs, the little microphones you see hanging up.
Yeah.
And we watched a couple of them. They did a study to validate what we hear. What was really interesting is standing next there, not seeing what was going on with the planes and that, but seeing the ambient noise. And for those that don't know what that is, that's the noise that's out there all the time. And just seeing the different neighborhoods that had higher ambient noises, one's closer to the freeways and that. And the one that we had, we wanted one on 67th and 17th. It was interesting that they could hear the freeway noises on that. And the biggest issue was that a dog barking down the block was louder than the planes. So we learned a lot on that case study, but they're just validating that, and it was interesting to see. And I asked to kind of get a printout of what ambient noise would be in Richfield so we can kind of get a picture of our pockets that are already noisy. And we haven't seen that before.
Oh, yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see, okay, what areas are normally noisy due to traffic and that, so I'll see if I can bring that back.
That would be
in.
wonderful. Bring
Yeah,
it in.
we'll see how it comes off the monitor. Also, if you look, the FAA just finished their, what they call ADBS/D implementation, which is part of the new next gen. They finished that part. Minneapolis is part of it. What it does is it's amount of transmitters throughout the state that can pick up aircraft where radar can't. And they need this to put in the new next gen because we don't have radar coverage. For instance, when I fly up to St. Cloud, if I don't stay at 5,000 feet, they can't see you. Well, this covers everybody from almost the ground up. So that was the first part for this next gen. The bad news is if you watch the FAA, they're going to have to furlough about 600 employees due to sequestration. They haven't told us exactly what that's going to mean. We'll probably find out at the next NOC meeting if that slows things down. But according to the FAA website, looks like they're looking at closing control towers and that again, so we'll see what that means. So that's all I have to report, I guess.
Okay. I just wanted to talk real quickly about one event that's coming up on May 10th, so that's pretty quickly. This is over at what was the Lindale Garden site and is being redeveloped, and the Lakewinds is over there. This is called Shore, Richfield, Saturday, May 10th from noon to 6 p.m. Rain or shine. This is at 64th and Lindale. And Emily Johnson, Shore resident in Richfield, she's a celebrity of places. She's also a choreographer. And there'll be performances, but there'll also be an art community will be there. Yeah, they'll bring meals to share, provide blankets. So there'll be lots of things to do and see there if you'd like to go over to that. And that's been published in the paper as well. I'm sure we'll have it up on our website. Councilmember Garcia, you have a couple of items.
Yes, Mayor, thank you. Well, the first is to remind people about the citywide garage sale, and that's going to be May the 15th through the 17th. The registration deadline is May the 5th, and there's a $20 fee for registering, and you can register either on the website or you can go to the Richfield Community Center and register there. And of course, maps are going to be provided for the garage sale as before, so that's something to plan on. This is a good time to spring clean. And then the other thing is Richfield High School is going to have a job fair, and this is a job fair for high school age kids. That will be April the 29th from 3 o'clock to 6:30. And they're going to be having this with, in collaboration with University of St. Thomas, the business community, and they're going to be doing, not only having the job fair, but they're also going to be doing some career development. This is for folks, for kids that want to do seasonal work, or maybe they're looking for part-time jobs, but they also have permanent part-time jobs for school kids. So it's something to really take advantage of. April the 29th, 3 to 6:30 p.m. at the Richfield High School cafeteria.
Thank you. Thank you. Great information. Councilmember Elliott.
I'm just going to suggest that from this point forward, I'm not going to show anybody my notes because everything I was going to say has been said.
I'll start with you next time.
You got me taken care of. Thank you.
But it's always nice. There's so many great things going on in Richfield.
It's wonderful. And
Yes.
I was excited just listening to all the wonderful events that were coming up that were in my notes. So.
Yes. Okay. All right.
if I
Thank
may,
you. Well, if we would have missed one, you would have caught us.
Right.
Yeah,
Please.
just a comment. The mayor and I were both at the wellness fair that was a week ago Saturday, and that was really a well-attended event, and I got my blood pressure checked. And
Did you get blood?
no, I did not, but I had my finger pricked, and they were checking all of my vitals. So it was really interesting, and I think it's well worth attending, and I think it's certainly worth supporting in the future. The other one that was the same day, which was the Easter egg hunt with all the little kids out there and the Easter bunny all dressed up, hunting for eggs, and that was just charming.
Yeah.
So that was delightful.
There's a lot going on every weekend. And it gets busier, so that's nice. Everybody can get outside, especially after I saw my cholesterol levels. I'll be walking a lot more. At this time, I'd ask council's approval of the agenda as it stands.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Council agenda is approved. We have consideration of the preliminary layout concept 2 alternative to the Portland Avenue reconstruction project as recommended by the Transportation Commission. And Jeff, it looks like you're going to be showing a few overheads and talking to us.
Madam Mayor, should we just go pick it up from here?
Please.
Okay. I'd like to just point out that the Transportation Commission is going to be recommending concept 2 for the design, and they did so at their April 9th meeting. And I'm going to ask Jeff Pearson if he would just kind of go over the elements of that design. And Jeff, if you would please introduce the other members of your project team that are here that might be commenting.
Yeah, Madam Mayor, members of the council, Jeff Pearson, transportation engineer for the city. We also have our consultant on the Portland Avenue project, Bill Klingby with Kimley Horn, and then a representative from Hennepin County, Maury Hooper, in the back. So the kind of the goal tonight is to bring to the council the recommended concept that came from the Transportation Commission. It was a result of a pretty long, extensive process, as you may have seen in your packets. We had 3 open houses to get to this point. We had multiple iterations. There was actually 4 concepts brought forward that were, this is the one that was ultimately recommended by the commission. And they really, it kind of went back to, if you remember, the guiding principles process that was gone through last year. That kind of focused on all of these upcoming street projects. What are the core elements that we're going to be looking for as a community that we want represented on these street projects? And so that's really what the commission used as their foundation in trying to come up with a concept that would best match that. And going into specifics about concept number 2, Richfield has a complete streets policy, so we had to look at what users are out there. Complete streets doesn't mean all modes on every road, but if there are modes on that road that you need to accommodate because it's a popular use on that specific corridor, we want to try to do that. So the commission moved forward with concept number 2, which is a 3-lane section, 3 travel lanes, similar to what's out there today. The only difference being that the standard lane width now is 11 feet on roads like this, and so we are going to gain a few feet, 3 feet, because there are 12-foot lanes out there today. So you'll gain 3 feet and be able to bring the curbs in a little bit. Then they're recommending a 6-foot bike lane that would be that integral curb, similar to what we have on 76th Street, where it's a concrete. That the advantage there that the color delineates the bike lane between the black and the concrete, as well as gives it a more durable. You don't have a seam right at the gutter line where you could kind of get off balance. Going outside of that, the introduction of boulevards. This is the green space that was really prevalent in the guiding principles. Trying to add more green to these streets so they're not just a sea of pavement as you look down them. So adding in a boulevard with landscaping, whether it's grass or trees or those type of elements, and then the outside of the boulevard is where it kind of is a little different. On one side would be a 6-foot concrete sidewalk. On the other side, the recommendation was for a multi-use trail. So this is, again, kind of goes back to that 76th Street concept. And the reason for both the multi-use trail and the on-street bike lanes, and you can kind of pick it up in the graphic of the cross-section, is we really have multiple types of users out there and we've really seen it on 76th Street since that was constructed. Portland is a pretty well used commuter type A type bike route, and those type of bicyclists, if they're either going to be in a travel lane or they're going to be in a bike lane, and they're not going to want to be up on a path where they have to compete with the slower moving walking children on bikes type crowd. But again, on 76th Street, you see a lot of families that want that off-street amenity. That trail provides a place where kids can ride their bike, a place where a family can go out pulling a wagon or pushing a stroller, and it gives that added width to those types of uses. So that was the kind of the reasoning behind concept number 2 being recommended by the commission.
Excuse me, what I really like about this is that, you know, you don't take your life in your own hands when you're going to be walking down the street. Because you know, right now you've got the street and the sidewalks right there. And this will be a lot safer. It'll accommodate more folks that like to walk, that are walkers, and you know, it adds to the beauty of our community.
Yeah, and another element that because we're just asking for this concept number 2, cross-section as our preliminary concept, the one element that shows up in a layout that we'll probably be bringing back to the council once we have some of the details worked out is right now the commission is preferring to actually put in medians at every intersection.
That's what I see here, yeah.
And what that will allow, and again, those details are being worked out right now. We're meeting, you know, with residents along the street and that type of thing. But what that would allow would be a refuge island at every single crossing along Portland Avenue. So our focus, the commission's focus, it was definitely to make it safer to walk along Portland. But equally as important was how do you get across Portland Avenue? And so those are the type of things that they were really focused on throughout this whole preliminary process.
Well, this is exciting, and I knew you would talk about a lot of these, so I didn't read the whole executive summary, but I'm just going to summarize with some of it for the record. So the Design 2 concept is going to have a single 11-foot vehicle travel lane in each direction instead of the 12-foot. And a center lane will be the left turn lane. There'll be 2 6-foot on-street bike lanes using the same concrete gutter plan design in 76. So it's going to look very similar. A 6-foot vegetative boulevard behind the curb on both sides of the street. This is going to allow for snow storage. A 6-foot concrete sidewalk on the west side of the street, an 8-foot bituminous multi-use trail on the east side of the street. So by adding these boulevards, the extent of the purpose sidewalk and the trail will be approximately 5.5 feet wider on both sides of Portland Avenue than the extent of the existing sidewalk. So that's going to make a huge difference. The boulevard space will provide the following. Again, the snow storage, provide additional pedestrian buffer. You're glad to have that, Edwina, I understand. You live close by there. Create an aesthetic green space along the corridor, including trees. In the areas where the existing right-of-way is 33 feet, this added width will require the purchase of 4-foot permanent easement for the total of 83 residential properties. In addition to design elements recommended by the Commission was the placement of the full access center median islands that you talked about for the refuge. It's including 73rd Street. And there's a lot of concern about actually people turning and crossing there. Well, what else is going to be the big piece of that is that those medians are also going to slow speeds down. And that's also one of those great things for the bicyclists as well on Portland Avenue. So this looks like a really great project. Questions, Council? Before I go up and make the motion. So at this time, I will make a motion to approve the preliminary layout concept 2 alternative for the Portland Avenue reconstruction project as recommended by the Transportation Commission.
Second.
Further discussion or comment? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
And
Please
and
add a comment.
if I may, I'll just give you kind of an update of where we are in the process.
Yeah.
Now that the consultant can take this preferred concept and run with it, so to speak, so we'll be developing more detailed corridor plans, trying to lock in where exactly those islands are and how big they are, making sure that we try to limit the impacts to the driveways and that type of thing, as well as advancing some of the details, intersection details. How does the signal get laid out in 73rd Street you mentioned and those type of things. So the bulk of our public process is kind of through. We'll still be working through the commission, the Transportation Commission to figure out some of these details. But for the majority of it, we'll be able to let the consultant run. And I will jump a project because 66th Street is kind of in the midst of this public process, yes. And there is a public open house on May 1st, which it'll be advertised, and we have mailers that have gone out. But I just wanted to highlight that is at Wood Lake Nature Center from 4 6:30 or 4 o'clock to 6:30. And so it'll be advertised on the website and that sort of thing. But you know, these public processes are important to make sure that we do capture the goals and the desires of the community, so.
And if anybody has there's ways to comment online, but also you can call the Public Works Department, and somebody will take your comment too as well, if people have extra comments or want to say things. But, you know, I just want to say that many of the council members here I've talked to, and myself, we've talked to residents, and a lot of our residents have asked, we'd really like our streets back and our neighborhoods back, and part of that was the process of getting really great sidewalks back and not right up next to the road, and getting the 4 lanes narrowed down so that there isn't a raceway down a lot of these roads. So thank you to the staff who is listening and doing the hard lifting. So appreciate it. Council member.
And thank you to Hennepin County as well for looking at a change in the roads to provide trees on Portland Avenue.
Oh, yeah, that'd
What
be
a
beautiful.
novel concept.
Yeah, how about that? We love our trees, right? City manager, acting city manager. Yeah, your hair turned white all of a sudden, Steve. Were we that tough on you?
There's no city manager's report.
Okay, thank you, Mike, for stepping in for the city manager. Appreciate that. Claims and payroll?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Any discussion?
All those
Well,
in-
I just wanted to say, you know, it's such a pleasure not to see Steve Devitt.
I'll tell him you said that.
I just had to say that, you know, you know, even when he's not here, I have to insult him.
All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Seeing no further business, I call this meeting adjourned. Thank you.